Welcome back to One Round. Well, listen, since we have her here, we figured that we would go a second round with our favorite person in Detroit City politics, City Council President Saunteel Jenkins. Well, one of our favorite people anyway.
I liked it better the first time.
So we figured since we had her in the house, we would take an opportunity to kind of get at some of the other questions that, I know that some of you may have pressing, and that I certainly have burning on my mind. So if you don't mind, we'd like to go a second round with you.
Let's go for it.
All right, absolutely. We talked a little bit in the first segment about Kevin Orr and some of the things that have been happening, but we do know that there's also a move by the state to take over Belle Isle. That was very, very controversial here in the city of Detroit. People were talking about it. Some folks felt like it was a red herring issue. I'd kind of like to know your thoughts. First of all, was it as big an issue as the media and everybody else around here made it out to be? Second of all, why weren't you guys in favor of the deals that the state was putting on the table?
Well, first, I think Belle Isle is an emotional issue. When you compare it to some other issues like public safety, I don't think they compare. Keeping kids safe, keeping people safe should be our #1 priority. Okay. But Belle Isle is certainly an emotional issue for Detroiters because it's our park, right? Most of us have gone there as kids. We've had family reunions there. So I understand the feelings around Belle Isle. Okay. Council, the majority, and there were different views when you look at the diversity amongst the body.
I happen to be on the side of folks like Joanne Watts and those folks who felt like the state shouldn't have come in and take over. But go ahead.
And I frankly think with all of the problems we had, Belle Isle should not have been a priority for the city of Detroit.
If you want to help us collect taxes, right?
Help us collect taxes, help us get more police on the street. Right. That's the kind of thing that improves the quality of life for the people who live here every day. Turn some street lights on the freeway because that's your responsibility.
In the first place,
Surface streets are ours, freeways are yours. Absolutely. So at least get the freeways.
Yeah, that Governor Snyder, and fix those potholes on 94 while you're at it. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry, Councilman.
We're there. But that should not have been a top priority. That being said, Darrell, the reality is the city has not had the money to take care of Belle Isle in the way we should have been and the way it deserves to be taken care of in years. The city has 7 full-time people on Belle Isle, 7 for that entire park. And those people are often pulled to go to places like Palmer Park, River Ridge, places where we need it. We didn't have the money for the capital improvements. One of the things that you'll hear other council members say is we have a master plan.
So the resources weren't necessarily there. So why did you object to the deal in the first place?
We objected to the deal that was put on the table because there were no guarantees. Okay. The state's lease provided no guarantees for capital funding, no guarantees for operational funding, and the second lease that was proposed actually put a burden on the city of somewhere between $1.5 to $2.5 million of money that wasn't in the original proposal.
Okay. Now is the deal is it better? Are you happy with what the state is putting forward?
No, it's not better. It's not better. Okay. And the deal that was approved, which we knew we were fighting a difficult battle because the state puts a deal on the table, the city puts a deal on the table, and then the state loan board chooses, but they're appointed by the governor.
It's the state negotiating with the state.
Exactly.
And that's really, to me, really what this whole thing is about. And I know we're running low on time, but I think at the end of the day, that's what so much of this is about. This whole EM thing, the state coming in, this financial review board, it is about the abrogation of democracy here in the city of Detroit. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
Going forward, you're the head of a council that essentially, doesn't have a whole lot of power. How are you going to deal with that in the next 4 years? And how are you going to deal with that in conjunction with working with the new mayor-elect?
Well, I do just want to speak quickly on the abdication of democracy. Sure. And one of the things that the governor said when they brought in an emergency manager, when he brought in Kevin Orr, he said Detroiters deserve better. So Detroiters have not gotten street lights and public safety and garbage picked up in years, and we're going to make it better. And the fact of the matter is city services in many respects have gotten worse. So if you're going to suspend democracy, then you must be accountable for making sure the people who live here get a better quality of life. That's not yet happening, and we all need to be holding the governor responsible to make sure that he makes that happen.
Are you hopeful that Mayor-elect Mike Duggan will make a difference? Do you think that he will?
I am. I'm very hopeful, and I think he'll make a difference. I think he's much more strategic, and much better prepared to deal with the issues that will be coming forward in this next 4 years.
No concerns about the kickbacks and some of the other, the association with the McNamara administration, no concerns about any of that?
Well, I always take people at face value until I'm given a reason to believe different.
See, that's why you're a better person than me. That's why I'm just a cynical journalist. We want to say thank you so much again, Councilman. We
Thank you,
appreciate being
Darrell.
here.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is Darrell Dawsey. This is Saunteel Jenkins. This has been One Round. Thanks so much.
Bye.